Hi, this is Mrs. Nelson. We're looking at Unit 8, Lesson 5, using dot plots to answer statistical questions. The objective says, I can use center and spread to describe data sets, including what is typical in a data set. The dot plots show the time it takes to get to school for 10 sixth grade students from the United States, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and South Africa. List the countries in order of typical travel times, from shortest to longest. So when I think of typical, I need to think about center. Where is the middle? Where is that balance point for the data? I'm going to think about a teeter-totter. And depending on how the people are situated, where is that balance point for the data? So I'm going to go ahead and mark that center for each of these dot plots. So looking at those, I think that's a good place to put that balance, that fulcrum, so that either side of this data is balanced. So looking at that, from shortest to longest, I would say I have United States, Canada, New Zealand, Australia, and South Africa. Letter B says, list the countries in order of variability in travel times. So variability has to do with the spread. How far apart or how close together the value are. This indicates how similar things are, and this shows how many different options there were as you were collecting the data. And we can measure that or compare that with distance. So I'm going to look at the distance between the shortest and longest amount of time. So I'm going to go ahead and mark those distances for each of these dot plots. And they all start in a slightly different spot, so it's a little challenging to compare, but I could pull those off and arrange them. But I'm just going to use my visual abilities, and I'm going to look and see and distinguish. So United States and New Zealand, they look about the same. They have the same starting point, but you can see that there is a student in New Zealand who takes more than 20 minutes. So far, United States is shortest, followed by New Zealand. And then, continuing from there, Canada and Australia, and then South Africa. Those were a little easier to distinguish. So that order from least variability to greatest is United States, New Zealand, Canada, Australia, and South Africa. Our objective says, I can use center and spread to describe data sets, including what is typical in a data set. So that center tells us that middle value or that balance point, and the spread tells us how alike the data is. Thanks for watching.